All right. So, how's it going, my comic chat army? We're here today with. You want to tell us who you are?
Sure. I'm Laurie Calcaterra. I'm the writer-creator of Path of the Pale Rider. And
And I'm Marco Defillo. I am the artist for the book.
So, how did y'all two meet?
Well, it was on Facebook, right? I mean,
Yes, it was. I was currently job hunting, so I found a Facebook chat, and I dropped my information, website, and then Laurie got to me, and from there we got to talking about the book.
yeah,
Okay.
the group is called like something like Connecting Comic Book Writers and Artists. So it was really specific for that purpose, so we could meet up. And he put his portfolio on there, and it was beautiful. And I just had to contact him.
Oh, thank you.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it's a good place to connect because it's really hard to find connect with artists and writers, and it's a good way to meet you halfway.
Right.
yeah.
See, I'm nervous because I want to make a book, but I'm nervous to I'm scared to get scammed, basically. How
Hmm.
do you know? I mean, is this like a trustworthy group? Like everybody in there is trying to help out everybody?
No. No, you gotta
Okay.
feel people out.
Yeah.
I knew Marco was serious because like for me, my story is what I have, right? It's my property. So he was willing to sign an NDA when so I could give him part of my comic and not worry about, being scammed. Also, when we decided we wanted to move forward, we put everything into a contract. I think that's super important, to find people that are willing to meet you halfway and put everything in writing what everybody's responsibilities are. That's how you know that they're serious. To
Yeah.
me.
Nice.
Yeah. From my side, it's the same thing. Is you gotta fill people out. It's conversations that we have. You can kind of tell from pick apart. Normally for me is that when I put my page rate, some people will
Mhm.
come up to me and they'll get surprised when my prices, but that's because I'm gonna put the effort for you, and
Mhm.
you know, but that's if you're serious, people will actually go for you. And Laurie
Mm.
accepted everything I said, so
All right.
he's worth
Are you
every
look?
he's worth every penny.
How can people get a hold of you, Marco, if they want to get some art from you?
yeah. I do have an Instagram, Marco underscore Defilo underscore art. Um, and I also have a website. It's just my name, marcodefilo.com. Um, and you can also get me by email, which is the same, Marco Defilo. It's
Keep it simple.
at
Yeah.
gmail.com. Since I have a unique name that barely no one but my dad. So it's easy to find me. Yeah, just either send me an email if you want to find me on Instagram. You can also send me a direct message. Um, you can also check my website, which should have all my links connected. Uh, yeah, so email, direct message, and if you want to find me on Facebook, it's my name again, Marco Defilo. Uh, yeah, it's a very unique name, so it shouldn't be too hard to find me.
Okay. When does the comic come out?
Well, it goes to Kickstarter. So we have 8 pages that are completed, and then like Marco's covered a few variant covers that are done. And we're crowdfunding for the rest of the funds to finish the comic book. It'll be 24 pages. Um, so that goes live April 15th. We do have our pre-launch link. So hopefully that'll be in the comments underneath the interview so people can click on that. There's a green banner to click on notify me upon launch. And so if this comes out prior to, April 15th, you can click on that and then have an email sent to you when we go live so you can help back the project. But, that's a 30-day window. So, I mean, we had kind of talked, so we're looking maybe like August 2022 to be completed. So
Okay. And what's the book about?
what's the book about, you say?
Yeah, I'd like to hear it from y'all.
It's a apocalyptic western. So we have zombies. We have, I mean, but our zombies are different. It's not like cannibalistic zombies that you can shoot in the head and then they're done, right? So in this world, the death process is broken. So when you die, Cody, your soul will be stuck in your body. And so your body is decaying, your brain is decaying, but you're stuck inside there. You're still animated. So in our world, it's more like people are still people, but it'd be like if you had like a degenerative brain disease or an injury or something like that. So everybody that's undead slowly kind of descends into madness. They become violent, they become unpredictable, chaotic, and there's no escaping. You can't shoot someone in the head and it's done. You just make them more unpredictable because they can use less of their brain.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but it's
I like.
animals and insects and everything. So it creates a whole gamut of issues across the board between food, rights, government. So we have famine, crisis, riots, everything. And we're following Jude St. Clair, who's a cowboy, hence the hat, 10 years into the apocalypse. And he's still searching for the answer. So, I mean, like, 10 years into any crisis, people are usually over it. They're just, trying to scrape by. But Jude is still looking for the answer. And if he can find it, hopefully he can figure out how to put the world right. But who knows if he can survive long enough.
Is this going to be a trade paperback, or is this going to be single issues?
It'll be single issues. We have
Okay.
13 issues written. And
Nice.
that's for the first arc, and I'm actually 4 issues into the second arc. So we have a lot to do. And as soon as we start getting, funded in these Kickstarters, we're just going to start pumping them out.
Yeah, she's ready. She got those issues ready. She gave me an overview. It's a very interesting story. I think that's the aspect that really got me. The zombies is like it's not a regular zombie. It's like there's still a human inside.
Mm-hmm.
The zombie hasn't turned into a complete monster yet.
Right. Yet. But they still do terrible things. Like, they can do terrible things, but not all of them. So.
So do they just get to a point to where they can't move no more? Like, I mean, you get to the rotting point where they just rot and just, what are they, just like a pile of goop, or what would you, do we get to see that without spoiling anything?
Yeah, you do get to see that eventually. You get to see, like, what happens when you're just a pile of bones. You know what I mean? What happens if your head gets separated from your body? You know what I mean? What happens to animals when they get killed? So you'll see all of that. I have it all in the book. I don't want to spoil anything, but yes, it's like even when you're a pile of bones and you can't move and you can't talk, you're still there.
And I'm planning to make it very gory.
Is this going to be in full color?
Right now we're doing black and white. We have a stretch goal for color. Marco is an excellent colorist. So, but being that this is our first episode, we wanted to make sure we succeeded to get the story out there. So, 24 pages black and white with a color cover and a color back. And then if we can get that stretch goal, then yes, we will do color. And, and in the future, we can always go back and color again. So even if we don't get that stretch goal the first episode, when we start to pick up a following and pick up steam, that could be something that we could do again. I would love to see it in color. I actually kind of want to see it both ways, though. I don't know. Something about black and white Walking Dead, the gritty, the washed out world. It has like an appeal to it. To me.
No, I agree. I think most comics should be in black and white. I like black and white better. Just we'll talk about it after. But is this your first? Yeah, because this is about y'all. Is this your first comic book ever?
Yeah. Well, actually, I come from production, so I was actually choreographing fight scenes, like martial arts and falling down and stair runs and stuff like that. With a production company in Detroit. And so I was writing like web episodes and stuff like that. So when I wrote this, it's actually a full-length movie, and I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, well, we can't produce this. It's too crazy. I don't have money to produce this thing. It would cost multi-million dollars. And then I was like, how do you pitch to Netflix? I have no idea. My husband read it and he was like, this is a comic book. And I was like, you know what? You are right. You are right, sir. So then we decided to split it up into episodes and then go the comic book route. And we both are big comic book readers, like anything Kirkman, Walking Dead, Outcast. We read a lot of Image, so like Saga and Low and Nailbiter, East of West. I don't know. It's just like I had to get past my own blinders to see that it's a comic book, you know. And I think it'll translate really well. Don't you think, Marco?
Oh yeah. When I was in, I mean, the story itself plays out like a comic book. It has a nice pace to it. It kind of builds anticipation to like each scene, and you keep that surprise factor in each panel aspect. And when we do it black and white, you see this kind of horror aspect to it that kind of gives it like a nice gritty feel to it. Yeah, no, I think it will do amazing. And of course, I'm gonna say I'm gonna buy it. You know? But I mean, reading the script itself, like before I even started, I think the aspect of like the moments that you have in the story are really nice and very character driven, and I think that's what's important in a comic book. You need that character.
Yeah.
And in terms of other works I've done, I actually no, I have been published once. I was lucky to be mentored and be my professor. His name was Kyle Stratham. He works in Image. He has a book named called Twig and Spread, and he's also done Unearthed. Um, he gave me an opportunity to do a 3-page story with an author named King Eddie. It's called Unsettled. It's behind the books of Unearthed, issue volume 2, I believe. I gotta check that. But I believe, yeah. But it was a short story. It was three pages, but I was able to get there. He told me to finish it in a month, and I was like, okay. He gave it to me at the beginning of the month, and he was like, okay, Marco, I can't pay you for this, but it's free. You can get published. I was like, fine, let's do it. I trust you. I mean, you're my professor, you're my mentor. Let's do it. And he got me published. So I got 1 issue published. Other than that, I am working on another project with the same writer I got published Unsettled. That one's been stalled for right now, but my major work will be that little short story so far.
Okay. Are y'all doing any signings yet?
We don't have a comic book yet. Yeah. Like that's
yeah,
okay,
all right.
okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
We have a reward level.
Yeah.
That like for me to sign and then for the both of us to sign. But like this is a question that's been coming up, Marco. The more I do interviews, people are like, okay, when are you guys doing cons? So we can meet you and then you can sign our comics. So that's not something that I'm opposed to. So we're kind of in the same area where if we find a con that we want to do, absolutely. I say we do a signing together. Why not?
Yeah, I'm still getting into the con. My first con was in Kansas City because that's where I kind of graduated, and actually they got to me back again, so I'm gonna do one in April.
Cool.
It's gonna be in Kansas City, Missouri. I haven't found the Dallas one. I heard the Dallas one's in the summer. We should talk. I'm gonna try to see if I can still get in because I'm kind of probably late in the game to kind of get a spot.
Yeah.
But I did for Kansas City. I kind of was late for Kansas City too, and they got to me really late. Like, if you still want one, here you go. And I was like, okay, go for it. And it was all last minute. So I might. I'm gonna look up for Dallas Con so far, but right now it's I'm going to go to Kansas City to kind of show my work. I still need to build a community here in Dallas. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna have a table? You're going as a fan?
No, I'm gonna have a table. I'm gonna print out. Well, I'm gonna have some sample. I'm gonna have some sample pages at my table, so people will still ask, so I can send them to the Kickstarter. Yeah, so I'll have plenty of selection so they can see my stuff, but I'll be really pushing this book for sure.
And hopefully, a splash page with Jude and BJ. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and I think I got the cover done too, so it'll be, and the cover came out really great. So
yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, I also want to say like his cover is just perfect for this episode because like in this 8-page preview that we're gonna put up on Kickstarter, Jude makes a decision to pick up this glass, and it has some significance to it, which I'm not gonna go into, but he risks his life to kind of pull this glass out of a zombie hand, and like has to dive almost off of a cliff to catch it, and it just kind of represents like that decision puts everything in motion, and it's like that's how this world is. It's like any little decision that you make could have dire consequences. So I mean, it just sums up perfectly what episode 1 is about.
Yeah, and I think what the cover really represents is like the whole. I wanted to do something with the represent the whole story. The shattering of the glass kind of represents how, as we as people, are being shattered by kind of this plague that's happening. People are not dying, but people are have to live with people suffering. So the glass shattering kind of has like views the mentality of most people are right now.
Yeah, that's cool.
So did y'all draw yourselves in the books anywhere?
Not yet.
Lori's planning
Nice.
to put us in.
Okay.
Well, I think you have a great idea for like putting faces in.
Yeah, I mean that could be a reward somewhere on your Kickstarter.
It is actually. We have a $100 level reward where you get all the merch, you get all the variants, and Marco's cover. There, and his cover will be signed by the both of us, and then we call it immortality because Marco will actually draw your likeness into the comic, but will probably kill you.
Okay. Do they get to pick where they're at, or they're gonna be in the book?
I mean, I would think that we would try to get them in one of the next episodes, just so you have that gratification. Like, you don't want to pay $100 and then see yourself in episode 12. You know what I mean?
Right.
If there's a way that we can work you into the background of the next episode, I mean, that's what I would think, that we would strive to do that. But again,
Okay.
we'll probably kill you. Because I think that's hilarious.
Oh yeah. Is the risk there of getting bitten? So if you get bit, does anything happen to you like normal zombies?
No, it doesn't pass that way. It's not contagious. It's just the death process is broken. So
Okay.
you could die of cancer. You could get shot. If someone bites you, no, it's not like a typical zombie movie trope at all.
Yeah, I think
All
there's still mysteries. Everyone's still trying to figure out what's going on. It's like, is it a
it's
virus?
like,
Is it something?
yeah,
I think Walking Dead does the same too. Like, they don't never tell you the reason how it started. You just assume, and I think that's what Laurie is like kind of envisioning. Is like, I'm not gonna tell you yet. You're gonna have to find out
right,
like later on.
right. So you have like all these conspiracy theories that Jude has been researching, because again, we're 10 years into the apocalypse. He's trying to figure it out. So he's debunked some of them. But I will tell you this, he does figure it out probably around episode 12.
Hmm.
Yeah, somewhere
Okay.
around 11 or 12, he does figure it out. But there's so many things that happen. Like, we put him through the grinder pretty much.
I'm excited. You got me sold. I can't wait.
Cool.
Yeah,
Good.
I
Good to hear.
want to read it. So as soon as you send me the link, I'm gonna click the notification button too.
Well, thank you.
Let's see. Yeah. Are with Comic Cons, are you gonna just stay in Texas, or are y'all gonna travel around? Because I know you said you was going up to
Kansas
Detroit,
City.
right?
Yeah,
Kansas City.
I want to do the travel. I'm gonna have to find out how I'm gonna get the funds to travel because I've met a lot of
Yeah.
people at cons. His name was Quentin. He traveled all over the place. It was a busy schedule. He went to Florida, he went to Miami, he went to Texas, and he told me all the schedule. He sent me the link. So I am planning in the future to do it. Maybe with the book, when the book comes out, I can take it with me, and maybe invite Laurie to go with me some events. It'll be because I know there's a +1 most cons, so you can probably sit beside and we can
That's
talk
cool.
about it.
We could do a table together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Cool with
yeah,
that. I'll wear my cowboy hat.
Yeah, but I think there is an importance of me going to different cons because yes, they can know me in Texas, they can know me in Kansas City, but like if I don't go to the con in Florida, people won't find me unless it's social media, and it's better to meet people in person than in social media.
Yeah, people want to talk to you and people want to ask you questions. You know what I mean? So they'd be very interested in meeting you. This is the first interview that Marco gets to do. I know all of our viewers in the Facebook group will be so excited to be. This will be the one with the most views. They're sick and tired of listening to me talk about, meat is still moving when you eat it, but they don't care anymore. They want to see who Marco is at this point.
Well, here I am.
Well, that's all the time we got for today. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
No. Stay tuned. That's all I say. It's the book is great. It's gonna have a lot of amazing surprise moments. So And even in the first sample pages, there is a surprise at the very end, so it'll be worth it.
Yeah, I like to throw a
Alright.
twist in, and I like to have the reader hang in at the end of every episode, so you want to come back and see what happens in the next one. But I mean, we have a ton of social media, so if people want to follow us, we have a Facebook group, Path of the Pale Rider. We have a Twitter at Path Pale Rider. We have an Instagram that's at Path of the Pale Rider with an underscore and underneath, in between all the words. And that's also our TikTok handle. We have a website, www.pathofthepalerider.com. So whatever social media you use, we're there. So if you want to follow us, you just got to find us and we're there. But we didn't talk about the cool thing about the comic though. I want to do this real quick. We have other things that are going out besides the comic. We have a short film that's interactive for every episode, and we have scavenger hunts, Easter eggs, and riddles built into every single comic. So
Wow.
we got a lot of moving parts. That's what kind of sets us apart from other Kickstarters and other, new comics, is we are going to be interactive, where you can actually be a part of the short film starting in episode 2, and then the riddles and the the stuff on the back cover is going to be a lot of fun, where it takes you to like somewhere in the real world. It might be a web page, it might be a phone number, you might get something in the mail from us. So there's additional content that we've built into this Kickstarter and into this comic that is just for the people that want to solve the riddles.
She's a mastermind. She's the one that had to figure it out. So you guys just figure it out.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Well, thank y'all.
No problem.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us on, Cody.
For sure.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comicchatauthority? Oh, come on. Subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.